What is up, everybody? You are very welcome along to tonight's stream. Whether you are joining us on YouTube or you are joining us on Hot Mic, you are very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda. I am your host Craig, and I hope you're all ready for some fun, because I feel like we need a bit of fun in our lives right now, ladies and gents. I have a few little bits and pieces here on my screen just to fix before we kick off tonight's festivities, so bear with me for 1 second. As you're using multiple platforms and you're an idiot like me, you kind of have to get used to how the technology works. But there is plenty of news for us to get through. Right, what have we got? Let me get my screen ready to go. Chat is filling up nicely as well, as somebody rather coolly pointed out to us, which is always good to see. Right, ladies and gents, first of all, how are you? I hope you're all keeping well. Lovely to see you with me. Thank you for coming on for tonight's show. We have a little bit of sexy Timo Werner news that I know. I like to describe transfers as sexy, by the way. I know it seems a bit odd to normal people, but it is what it is. I hope we're all feeling good. I hope life is treating you well. I broke out the all-black shirt tonight, or the blackout shirt, because, you know, with the night kits being unveiled in the near future, I suppose, I thought I might as well get the most out of this while I could. So, hello to everybody, whether you're joining us on either platform. And as you might have noticed, we have changed things for a Hot Mic a little bit. We thought to ourselves, how can we make it easier for people to sign up on Hot Mic? Because you know what I'm doing the spiel where I say, ladies and gentlemen, please go and download the Hot Mic app, whether that be on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Put it onto your phone, open it up, and then I'll ask you for the sign-up code. I sat down with Connor and I thought, why don't we just use the word agenda? Or Anfield, I should say. Sorry, so you even fucked that up. Why don't we use the word Anfield? Just one word. Then I don't have to say Anfield agenda, all caps, no space in between, yada yada yada. So if you're going to sign up the Hot Mic for us, just use the code Anfield, all capital letters. Nice and simple. That'll get you through to follow Anfield agenda, and that will help us rather nicely as well. If you don't know what Hot Mic is, shame on you. But it is an app that, one, we're going to be doing all of our live watch-alongs on, as well as YouTube moving forward. But look, you're not here about that. First super chat of the night. Trent won 5-1 in the FIFA 20 comp against Man United. Said, Azzy, I'm sure, now you know me, Azzy, I'm not a FIFA person when it comes to computer games, but I'm sure I read somewhere the other day that Trent lost one of those, did he not? I thought he'd lost against somebody the other day when he was playing. Now again, I could be well wrong on that one. And for those that are joining us on Hot Mic, own Craig is sexy, which, you know, isn't just me randomly saying phrases. A Cap, Bernadette Farrell, Douglas James and the likes. Please don't forget to hit that share button for us, ladies and gentlemen, over on Hot Mic as well, because that does help us out. Does it so you don't have to say it says blank 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 at all anyway? Yeah, I mean, I'm an idiot. Don't forget that, Connor, when you're dealing with me. Brian Morrissey said pure Craig. Yeah, I mean, I simplify things to make it nice and easy for me to explain to people, and I still go and make a hames of it. It is the most beautifully Craig thing of all, isn't it? Right, Kai Craig, I love to see you're amazing, said Mackenzie Lewis. Mackenzie, that's so kind of you, thank you. I hope life is treating you well. But if we got Subi's in the house as well, how are you? Joanne Fisher on set. I love that new little super sticker, Joanne, that you've been using. And thank you very much, by the way, for the super sticker. Right, where do you want to kick off tonight, ladies and gentlemen? As always, I want to start by saying I hope you're all in good health. I hope your families are all well. And I hope that life is treating you as good as life can possibly be treating you right now during where we are in the world. I'm a Gunner Terry. How are you, sir? Lovely to see you in again. Said, hello, mate. Hope you're well. What do I think about UEFA might be picking places for next season by merit? I have to admit, Terry, mate, I'm a little bit behind on the football news. I'm very Liverpool-centric at the minute, mate. Trying to keep up to date with what's going on with our transfers. How do they go about that one though, mate? I mean, first of all, that would deem that this season isn't going to finish, and that doesn't make us Liverpool fans happy, Terry, as I'm sure you can imagine, mate. But yeah, how do you do it on merit? I mean, Leicester City to me should be there on merit because of their performance this season, but it is something that intrigues me, by the way, Terry. And again, I'd love to have you on our channel for a chat sometime too, mate. If you want to pop over and we can discuss all things Liverpool and Arsenal. Hit me up, you've got my contact information. But no, it's not something I've seen, but it is something that's quite intriguing as to how they'd go about that, or what the I suppose, what's the word I'm looking for here, what the qualification purposes would be. Like, I mean, United get in because they've been in there for years. Would Arsenal get in because under Wenger they were, forever playing? I don't know. It's weird to see. Welcome to all our members as well, by the way. Lovely to see you guys in. Thank you so much. What else have we got? Somebody just called me a fat bastard, is it? Well, I am, so I mean, if you did, fair enough. I mean, facts are facts, can't really argue with it. Craig, what is your opinion about Loris Karius? Yeah, so I do have a little bit of news on Karius for those of you who are awaiting with bated breath around the Loris Karius situation. He's not coming back to Liverpool. I've said that all along to you guys. If he comes back to Liverpool, it'll be like for a really brief training period before he moves on somewhere else. But according to Fnatic, who I believe are based in Turkey, which is where he's playing now with Besiktas, there's an agreement being reached between Liverpool and Wolves. Yes, you fucking heard me right. Wolves, for Loris Karius to go on loan there next season. Interesting. Extremely interesting, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, as long as he's not at Liverpool, I'm tickety-boo about these things, but wow. Criteria was the word I was looking for, Brian. Again, this is why you guys are here to brain me out. I'm just a mere tits and ass on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are the brains. What does that make Connor? The artiste, maybe? I don't know. But we'll call Connor the artiste. I call him Pedro, by the way. And that's no joking. Connor will tell you that himself. When I'm sending the messages back and forth, for some reason, I just call him Pedro, and I've no fucking clue why. I mean, there's no reason for me to be calling him Pedro, but he seems like a Pedro, doesn't he? Rather than Connor. Right, Adrian and Karius, something doesn't seem good, said Kieran. I'm still not sure what's going to go on with Adrian. I don't know if he will be here or if he will move on. I told you guys before that I read a Q&A that Paul Gorse from The Echo did, and his opinion seemed to be that Adrian will remain at Liverpool for next season as backup. I have to say, my hope would be that we would look to add a bit of a better backup goalkeeper, but if it was a choice between Adrian and Karius, I'd probably take Adrian if I'm being honest, although it isn't the greatest of choices if we're being honest about it. Boya said, makes sense with Patricio is aging for them to go and sign Karius. Definitely, mate, that would be fantastic. We'll inbox you later. Thanks. That would mean City, Liverpool, Man United and Arsenal will be in the Champions League next season, said I'm a Gooner Terry, who's part of Claude and the Bants. Or Claude and the Bances, excuse me. I'm still getting used to that word, Terry. That would be really harsh on Leicester City, wouldn't it? That would be really, really harsh. I'm sure Boya wouldn't be up for that one bit either. Wolves have Patricio, said Casper. Could be his competition, mate. Could be as a backup goalkeeper. I don't know. It didn't say anywhere to me that Wolves were bringing him in to be their number one or whatever. All I simply said in the article was that he's apparently gone to Wolves. Right, over to Hot Mike. Hi, Craig. Had to buy a new phone. The last one didn't have an update for it, so happy days now. Nice one, Jason. Always good to get a new phone, mate. Happy days. Are you an Android user, mate, or are you an Apple user? I judge people by these things. I'm not even going to lie to you a little bit. Crosby's an Android user. The cheek of the man. Although he does have the good grace to use a MacBook when it comes to doing the stuff for Anfield Agenda, so I will give him bonus points for that one. I'm an Apple fanboy completely, I have to say. Apple phone, iPad, MacBook, Beats headphones. I'm Apple's wet dream when it comes to a customer. Have you seen the Mane documentary, said Azzy? No, not yet, and I keep meaning to watch it. Where can I watch it, by the way, Azzy, if you don't mind me asking? Because the image that somebody put up to show me about the Mane documentary just showed that it was on some French channel or something like that. Some channel that I can't get here in Ireland anyway. Unless, of course, it's on somewhere that I've completely missed. Connor saying, I'm slowly phasing into Apple, I think. God help me. Yeah, there's something about it, isn't there? I've said this to Connor before, and any Apple users out there might understand where I'm coming from about this. There's something about the unboxing of an Apple product that feels like an event. So if you get a new iPad, or you get yourself a new iPhone or a MacBook, or whatever it might be, there's something about that, the unboxing of it, that just feels like an event, if you get where I'm coming from in a weird way. And I keep all my old boxes for stuff like that as well, because I'm a little bit strange. What have we got? Torture without football, said Robert Ryan over on Hot Mic. Mate, it really is. It really, really is. Look, ladies and gentlemen, you guys were so good to us the other night on Hot Mic. We got a load of you guys to come over, download that app and put in the code, and you helped us move up that Hot Mic Broadcaster League table a little bit. Now, if you can help us out again tonight, I think we're about 1,000 769 or something, 1,000. I don't even know what number we're at in Hot Mic at the minute. Somebody will. But basically where I'm getting at is, can you do us a favour? Download that Hot Mic app. Put in the sign-up code Anfield on the screen. All one word. No need for anything else. Just Anfield, capital letters. And that'll help us out massively. Give us a follow on there as well. Craig, not sponsored by Apple. I wish, mate. I absolutely wish. I mean, when I say I'm out here using an Apple phone, mate, I'm not using the newest phone. Man's still using an Apple XR. Do you know what I mean? I'm still back in the day. I mean, when it's at the point where my daughter has the same phone as me, do you know what I mean? I mean, I need to upgrade my life a little bit, but you know, I'm doing what man can afford. Do you know what I mean? That's good enough for me. I'm still driving the 2011 Renault Megane Estate, by the way, for anyone else who's wondering. I mean, where's the GoFundMe for my Volvo XC90, ladies and gentlemen? Terribly disappointed in that. I thought for sure there was going to be a GoFundMe for Craig's €64,000 Volvo XC90, but sadly it's not the case. But you know what? Joanne said there's a 199 super chat of a chair, so that might help. I'm only on a wind-up. I told you I'm in a good mood tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Gareth, I'm very good, thank you, buddy. How are you? John Hamilton said, Craig, that's just because it costs so freaking much. The Apple stuff, yeah, it does. I'm not going to lie, John. Although I did get my Beats at a reasonable price. I got a pair of Beats Beats Studio headphones at Christmas for like, I think it was €189, something like that, which I was pretty happy with. What have we got? Will tip be an option on Android in the future as Chiefer? Is there no tip for Android over on Hot Mic? Genuinely did not know that because, again, I'm an Apple user. I don't know, Chiefer, if it will or won't. Joey, how are you, my friend? So we're at 1,573 at the moment over on Hot Mic. Thank you, Joey. I appreciate that, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can do us that favour and help us to get up to the 1,600 mark on this stream, it'll just take 27 of you guys to download that Hot Mic app, put in the code Anfield, all capital letters, and give us a follow on there as well. I'll have a look through the list because, as I said before, the Anfield Wrap are on there. Redmen are on there, although I don't think that they actually do much streaming at present, but I think they plan to in the future. Terry from the Football Terrace is on there. Lee Chappie is on there. Lee Gunner is on there as well. Hopefully Claude and the Bansters might be on there in the near future as well. So you're going to get a lot of your big favourite broadcasters, YouTubers coming over to Hot Mic to do their watch-alongs and stuff on there. And I have a little chat with somebody during the week who I'm hoping to bring across as well. Somebody who I think could change the whole game for that platform if I can manage to convince this person to give it a bash. So we'll wait and see. What's Brian saying? Definitely cancelled. I don't know what's definitely cancelled, Brian. I don't like seeing the phrase definitely cancelled, mate. That makes me, as a Liverpool fan, very, very nervous. Callum said, love you, Craig. You're a legend. Keep up the good work. You sexy, bald, Irish singing legend. I'm not going to lie to you, mate. I was out in my kitchen singing before the stream started. Absolutely destroying songs intentionally just to wind my family up. What else have we got over on Hot Mic? Let me dip into the chat over here and see how everybody's feeling. Lovely to see you guys with us over there as well. Red for Life said, I have a 2011 Hyundai i30 and I love it. Nothing wrong with it, mate. I mean, as I was saying, my 2011 Renault Megane, she does the job. Not a bother over, never missed a beat, just service it, put new tyres on it, flies through the NCT, not a bother out of it. What do I think? When do you think the transfer window will be? Oh, and I don't know, and I was thinking about that earlier on because I was only thinking about the Timo Werner stuff, which I'm going to get to, by the way. I'm not just prick teasing here. I will get to the Timo Werner stuff in a minute. I just want to talk through and say hello to as many people as I can because I appreciate that you guys take the time to come on and comment on the stream and stuff like that. What's Brian said? Let me just... I have to scroll back. Right, back. Definitely cancelled. Then Brian said it's a ghost keeper, and then he said Goldbridge. I don't know how any of those three are linked. Head exploded, Brian, at this moment in time. Iranian Pride is in the house. How are you, sir? Feels like a while. I hope life is treating you well. Lovely to see you in as well. John Irwin, how are you, my friend? Joanne, tip. Android, you can tip. There you go. Joanne proving points over on Hot Mic. Thank you for the tip, Joanne. Really appreciate it. Basil said, I bet the person he's trying to get over to Hot Mic is Mark Goldbridge. Mate, I'm trying to get loads of people over to Hot Mic, and I tell you who it isn't. It isn't Joe Rogan. because I don't have access to fucking Joe Rogan as much as I wish. And it isn't true, Geordie, because Big Bryony hasn't shown me any love yet. I've said that one of my goals is to get onto the kickoff. I'll know that I've made it if I ever get an appearance on the kickoff. So, but I definitely just keep an eye on it, ladies and gentlemen. Teo, how are you, sir? Said glad to see you well, bro. We are Liverpool. Lovely to see you in, Teo. I hope life is treating you well, my friend. Where's the Diet Chava? It's here, man. It's always here. I always have my Diet Coke, but these days I've got my bottle of Volvic as well, because I'm trying to drink a lot of water during these tough times. So this is my way of trying, rather than exercise, and I just thought, what can I do to improve my life without having to lift a damn finger? And I said, Craig, Volvic is filled with volcanicity, and if that doesn't work, what will? So have a little drop of Volvic and see how it goes. Can't do any harm, can it? I feel like I'm already ripping off the Dr. Pepper ads there, by the way, but soz. Our AFTV on Hot Mic, said Casper. No, but again, if Claude and the Bances come on to Hot Mic, Claude talks to Robbie, Robbie has a little look, you never know. That's what I'm trying to say. Hot Mic is going to be the platform. So if you don't know what it is, have a little research on it. It allows us basically to... Right, I'm going to try and explain this real simple before I move on to Timo Werner. What is Hot Mic? Hot Mic is an app that allows broadcasters to give our commentary over live sports broadcasting. And it doesn't even have to be sports. I'm using sports as an example. So, let's say Liverpool are playing Manchester City and you're watching it on the L television and you tune into Anfield Agenda for a watch-along on YouTube and you're going, Michael Owen? Again? And if it's not Michael Owen, then who am I having to listen to? Martin Tyler? Again? So what you can do is you can open up that beautiful Hot Mic app and it will show a big sync button on there. So when you open up the app, you go into the stream that you want to watch. So obviously it's going to be Anfield Agenda in this case. You click on it and a sync button will appear on it. You hit the sync button, it listens to your television, it knows what point in the game you're viewing is at, and then it syncs my commentary direct to that point of the game, which is beautiful. Because if you're a little bit behind, if you've paused it, if you've gone for a pee, made a cup of tea, whatever it might be, it's class. So make sure that you do it. Make sure that you download the app, put in the code Anfield, and then you lower down the volume on your television and Air Match commentary comes through either your mobile device or your tablet or your speaker or whatever it might be, and you don't have to listen to that Michael Owen or Martin Tyler dull, boring commentary. You get to listen to me calling people a cunt. I mean, what more do you want? I mean, what more can you get for free? Craig calling people cabbages, and I can't say the second word again because I'll get demonetized if I do it too quickly. A couple of people talking about the shirts. The shirt, yeah, I was very lucky this year. Every year that New Balance have brought out a blackout shirt, I've tried to get one and never been able to. This year, for some reason, I woke up at an ungodly hour, like 8:30 in the morning or something like that. And I just happened to roll over and click on my phone and see that the shirt was on sale and bought one. And I just got lucky. Every year these have been out, I've tried to get one. But yeah, very rarely wear them. But I thought tonight, let's treat myself. Why not? And not treat myself in the Anfield Agenda way that we all know what treat yourself means. What else is there? Colin said, how are you getting on, Craig? Hope you're keeping well. I'm doing okay, buddy, and I hope you are as well. Right, look, enough of this nonsense. Enough of me talking. Enough of this platitude. Let's get straight to Timo Werner, because that's what you're here for. Do you know what I mean? We've had the foreplay. You know, we've touched each other up. We've undone the brass strap a little bit. We've played with the boobies. You know, we're getting down to the real business right now. So Timo Werner has reportedly given Liverpool his word that he will make a summer move to join the Reds, and that's according to Bleacher Report. Now, Dean Jones, who I believe is the journalist involved with Bleacher Report, during a Q&A said, everything I'm hearing is that it will happen. Jones said in a question and answer session with the fans, the only confusion comes with the pause in activity and how hard it is to negotiate and have discussions right now because of the travel ban. I'm told Werner is desperate to play in the Premier League. I know he's linked with a lot of English clubs, but if he's going to come, he has to go to a team that's really challenging. Plus, there's the lure of Klopp, so that makes Liverpool his top destination. If he leaves Leipzig, which is looking likely, it's his only real landing spot. Doesn't that sound good? Doesn't that sound good to hear more and more people kind of confirming what we've been saying for quite a while now, that we are going to get Timo Werner at Liverpool by the looks of it. So fingers crossed that one gets over the line. And yeah, how does it feel? I mean, just like my real marital affairs, that was short and sweet, but you know, the foreplay usually does go on for longer, but we are where we are, ladies and gentlemen. So, your thoughts on Timo Werner, ladies and gentlemen? Where can you see him fitting into our system? Does that mean the end for somebody like maybe a Divock Origi, or are we looking to just make sure that we have enough backup? There's loads of arguments and loads of constructive ways that we can talk about this, but rather than me just waffling on about my views on it, I want to put it over to you guys to see where you would play Timo Werner if he were to sign for Liverpool, which indeed it looks like he may well be. What have we got? Werner must come, said Fernando. Werner 17, said Chanzo the man. Imagine that front four, said Danny. Kate's giving it a thumbs up. Well, is Timo Werner coming, said Shay Trainer. Well, I don't know, mate. He could be practicing tantric right now. I don't know if he is, you know, coming to the end, but if he's going to arrive at Liverpool, probably. Maybe. What number will he be? I don't know. 177. I'm only messing. I haven't got a clue. Haven't got a clue what number he is. I'm no good at games like that. I couldn't even tell you what number he wears at his current club. Like, I'm not one of these people. I watch footballers. I don't watch their numbers or their boots. So, like, I can't tell you what brand of footwear somebody wears, because I couldn't give a shit. I only care that brand of footwear puts the ball in the back of the net or crosses it to somebody else who puts it in the back of the net. So, there you go. Right, somebody else said check Hot Mic, so let me go over and see what we got on Hot Mic. I think it was Thomas McGee. 1 second, where are we? How are you getting on, Craig? Hope you're keeping well. Good. Gabrielle said, I was on Twitter and saw one of your tweets get like over 24k views. Yeah, you see, you've kind of worded that a little bit shittily, Gabrielle, haven't you? Because the tweet that you're on about is us basically calling out Stephen Houston for being an absolute hypocrite. So if you're going to try and put stuff in, Gabrielle, and try and throw the name of that rag around, at least give context as to what you're saying. And anybody who wants to go and view the Twitter clip, it is up there on the Anfield Agenda Twitter account. So, yeah. So, you know, I'm not going to bring up that rag's name, mate. But I think if we're going to talk about stuff like that, Gabrielle, please do it in context. What else have we got? Do you think Werner will be class at Liverpool, said Angus, and thank you for the super chat, sir. Angus Court 123. Yes, mate, I think he will be world class. What is he, 23, just turning 24? I don't know if he's going to be an every week player for the start. Let me put it that way, because I won't be saying that about almost anybody that comes to Liverpool Football Club, because usually when players come, it takes them a while to acclimatise, and Jurgen Klopp likes to kind of give people a little introduction, pull them back a little bit, get them up to their training methods, and then introduce them slowly but surely. But what I always try to remind people is that we have about between 60 and 70 games at the top level when you talk about Champions League and stuff like that at a club like Liverpool. So you're going to get plenty of time for players to be swapped around, and you're going to get plenty of time for players to get a lot of games. Will there be times where we might see Mohamed Salah, Timo Werner, Sadio Mane, and then Bobby Firmino in behind? Yeah, probably. And how fucking cool would that to see? But will there also be times where maybe we see one of those on the bench and we see Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in behind? Yes, absolutely. I mean, horses for courses, and it depends who we're playing, when we're playing, and what's riding on the game. So, again, I think a lot will depend. What will be interesting to see for me, if we sign Timo Werner, is will we see an obvious tweak in system from Jurgen Klopp, because there's always little tweaks that go on during games. If you have to counterbalance what the opposition have done, if you want to maybe go a little bit narrower for a while to force teams wide, there are little tweaks that you see during games that I suppose can be technically seen as a swap in formation, but I'm talking about a blatant setting up as a 4-2-1-3 or 4-2-3-1, something along those lines if we brought in somebody like Timo Werner as an example. Cape Town Muslim said, at least you have sex activity, Craig. Some of us are practicing sexual distancing. Luckily for me, mate, I'm able to keep my hand 2 meters away from the area in question. Do you know what I mean? I fucking wish. Sorry, this has gone a strange direction tonight, ladies and gentlemen, but it often happens. It often happens. Again, ladies and gents, if you can do me a favour over on Hot Mic, if you're watching and enjoying the stream over there, please do hit the share button. If you can't quite see where it is, maybe just touch the screen near my face or something and it should pop up behind you, and that lets you know, or let you send it out to Facebook or Twitter or whatever it might be to let people know. Also, Connor and I are considering what we're looking for, I suppose, to use a fancy phrase, and I don't like to use a fancy phrase, somebody who can become our social media manager, because Connor and I haven't quite frankly got the time to run our Instagram and to run our Twitter accounts, and we're looking for somebody, and not just somebody that we can trust, it has to be somebody that's pretty fucking shit hot at it, to be fair. So we put up a post about that, and by we I say I, and then I said, Connor, hey, look what I did. But you didn't know about this, mate, but look, this is happening now. So yeah, check out that if you're interested, maybe DM us on there, something like that. Thomas McGee said he has Hot Mic. Thank you for that, Thomas, really appreciate it. Did you see our new kit, said Fernando? Mate, I did. I seen 2 beautiful videos today that Connor sent me, and I'm sure one of them at least is up on the Anfield Agenda Twitter account if you want to go check it out, at Anfield Agenda. And you know what? They look a lot better, don't they? The videos that are going around of the 2 kits look a hell of a lot better than just the still images that we've seen. I mean, so I was worried a little bit about the quality of the embroidery and stuff like that, and it is still looking like it's a raised kind of plastic effect, but it looks much better, and there's a nice pattern you can see in some dots and some waving pattern on the sleeves and stuff like that as well. One thing I did notice looking at the rear of the home shirt from the video I'd seen is the 96 and the Eternal Flames looks just a tad low to me on that shirt. Maybe it looks like it could be a centimetre higher than it is, and I'm still not a massive fan of the crossover of the collar on the back, but will I be buying the home shirt? Yes. After seeing it in more detail, like Connor pointed out many times, you have to kind of wait to see proper images of these things in more detail. And to me, that home shirt looks nice. It does. I have to say, it's one that I'll buy. And the away shirt, the teal coloured one, or the greeny, bluey coloured one, I'm all over that as well, because it's got a round collar. Anything with a round collar usually gets my vote. So I'm probably going to buy both those shirts, if I'm being honest. Casper said, Craig, are you active on the 2 or on Twitter? No, not really. I've been doing a little bit on there over the last few days, mate, mainly just to let people know that I'm okay. People who are inquiring after watching the video and were a bit worried about me, just replying to some DMs and stuff on there and just letting people know that I'm okay, and thanking them for contacting me and stuff like that, my friend. What have we got? Colin McAteer said 4-2-3-1 Bobby, central attacking midfielder, Timo Werner a striker. What have we got? Werner and Sancho, please, and sell no one. I agree. Douglas, sell nobody. But Sancho, we spoke about Sancho the other night, and I've got to be honest, everything that I read suggests that Jadon Sancho is going to end up at Manchester United. And I mean pretty much everything that I read. Would I mind about Liverpool? Not one bit. No, of course I wouldn't. And there aren't going to be many clubs that can go out and afford somebody like Jadon Sancho in the current market with the situation that the world is in. So you're talking about the Manchester Cities, the Liverpools, the Manchester Uniteds, maybe the Newcastles, you never know. But there are going to be very few clubs around the world who can afford him. I just don't see him coming to Liverpool. I don't know, I'm hearing so much talk of mega wages and all this type of stuff, and I know this will come back to bite me in the ass if he signs for United, but yeah, he is a very good footballer, and he probably will turn out to be a superstar, but I don't know. Connor said the goalkeeper shirt is sexy as fuck, nice orange yellow colour. Yeah, he did send me that the other day as well. I forgot to mention that. Although I'd never buy a goalkeeper shirt. Just feels weird as an adult. Although some people think that any adult wearing a football shirt is weird. So I mean, who am I to judge? You worried about him going to Madrid? And sorry if I seemed like a jerk about it. Am I worried about him going to Madrid? I'm sorry if I seem like a jerk about it. What are we talking about here? Who am I worried about going to Madrid? No, I'm not worried about anybody going to Madrid. Madrid and Barcelona are flat ass broke. I mean, people need to start understanding this. Barcelona are in real financial trouble from everything that I'm reading. I'm not talking about going out of business trouble here, but I mean, they're not the financial powerhouse that they once were. I mean, they are doing a nice gesture, which I believe they're selling the naming rights of the new camp for a year in order to raise funds for what's going on in the world right now. I don't like to use the name in case YouTube and their infinite wisdom decide to come in and demonetize us yet again, which is a beautiful thing to do, so fair play to them on that gesture. But I mean, they're trying to strike little weird deals. So we spoke about them wanting to bring Neymar back, and what I've read is that they're going to offer Antoine Griezmann as a part exchange for Neymar. So no, the days of the lure of Barcelona and Real Madrid taking Liverpool players away, or any of the big Premier League clubs players away, doesn't really worry me too much. The only parts that ever really worry me when it comes to those type of things are South Americans in particular. Because a lot of South American young footballers grow up watching Barcelona's and Real Madrid and watching Spanish football because of the culture, the language, and they worry me. So the Coutinhos, the Suarez, that always worried me when they were getting linked with. But Sadio Mane, the likes of that going to Real Madrid, I mean, Mohamed Salah for me would be the most likely one to move on if somebody of our front three was going to leave and go and join a club. And again, I can only weirdly see Salah playing in a Real Madrid shirt. I don't know why I couldn't imagine him in a Barca shirt, but I don't want any of them to go. But if one of them was to go, I think, in my humble opinion, most likely would be Salah. Right, what else have we got? I've just looked into the Karius and Wolves thing, and he's going to be a backup, said Bazzer over on Hot Mic. Thank you for that one, mate. When am I streaming next, asks Colin. What day is it? Friday, mate. So today, Wednesday, take tomorrow off. Friday will be the next stream. Again, it'll be on both platforms as always. What have we got? Nathan Walker said, Craig, I'm so happy to see you happy, but this is my last message to you. Goodbye, Craig. I don't know what to make of that, mate. And I mean that in a sincerely scared way. Firstly, thank you for the kind words to me, mate, but if your message is in relation to self-harm, I beg that you reach out to a professional, mate. And I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Mate, you have to seek professional help. I mean, I cannot give you advice because I'm not qualified to do so, but what I can say, Nathan, is somebody who seems like yourself has been down and in bad places, there are ways and means to get better, mate. So please, Nathan, do contact a professional. I don't know if you're in England, contact the NHS, speak to a parent, a friend, a family member, anybody. Just talk and get the ball rolling, mate. Do not give up. Don't even think about it. And I've no idea of the sincerity of what you're saying, but I like to take people at face value, Nathan, and don't give up, buddy. You see me? You've seen how bad I was. I genuinely thought that was it for me. No more coming back. I was useless to anybody. And now, with help, with medication, with speaking to a psychologist, and I had another call with my psychologist at 5 p.m. today. Don't give up, mate. Put a hand out for help. It's okay to need help, buddy. We all need it from time to time. And we're all fucked up in our own unique, beautiful way. And that's the way that I like to phrase it. So stay with us in the chat, mate. Please don't head off anywhere. If there's anyone that can help, if you want to reach out or get numbers that we can send your way or anything like that, you're part of our community, Nathan. And we love you, mate. So please don't be doing anything. Pick up the phone, speak to a family member. If you don't have a family member close, mate, ring the Samaritans. And I don't mean that in a belittling way, but there are people out there who are willing to help. And during the time we're going through now, mate, it's difficult. It's difficult as fuck for everybody. I mean, I'm somebody who doesn't go out much, and I'm struggling with cabin fever and stuff like that. So again, buddy, make sure that you do reach out and get that help if you need it, because the help is out there. And trust me, as somebody who's been the lowest of the lows, there are good people who can get you to places that you didn't think you'd ever. Like, I did not think I would be sitting here smiling again 2 weeks ago, if even 2 weeks ago, mate. So please keep going, mate, and don't give up. Just don't give up, mate, and let us know. Keep talking to us in the chat. Keep posting, letting us know you're okay, mate. Just keep with us, and I'll try my best. I mean, if I have to get the moves out, I'll do it for you, Nathan. Do you know what I mean? Man will do whatever he has to do to keep a smile on your beautiful face, my friend. So, stay with us, buddy. Harvey said, Craig, you're a total inspiration. Every stream puts a smile on my face. I've said this before. Anything that I do to help anybody else, one, I'm extremely thankful for. But what you guys have given back to me, I can never repay. I mean, the GoFundMe page for the Volvo XC90, did it feel like a kick in the balls? Yeah. It did. I mean, man's driving around the 2011 whip. Could have been out there cruising around in an XC90, 2 fingers up to the neighbours. But you know what I mean? I'm not loved that much. But I got enough love to get me through, and that's okay. That's okay. And John Hamilton, as always, playing a blinder. Anybody, those numbers, they all work. John Hamilton, sir, you are a legend. And Nathan, if you do need help, mate, please do look at that number that John has put up on the screen. What else have we got? Let me move back over to Hot Mike, because I do have more transfer news to get through as well, involving Diego Carlos. You meant Werner to Madrid, Gabriel. Excuse me, mate. No, I can't see that happening. I mean, why would you go to Real Madrid with the instability that's there? So if you're a young player like Timo Werner, you're going to look at what happened to the likes of Jovic at Real Madrid. You're going to wonder how long perhaps Zinedine Zidane is going to be at Real Madrid. And you're going to wonder if they're going to continue to progress or if they have an ageing squad. They have some good young players there at Real Madrid for sure, but I mean, I think the lure of working with a fellow German and coming to the best team in the world, I think that might do it for us. Coutinho to Chelsea. Colin McAteer said, yes, I've seen a few. I've even gone as far as and I can't believe I'm about to utter this phrase, my friends, but I've even seen a link out there today suggesting Felipe Coutinho could end up at Everton. Let's all just take a moment to gather that. Imagine it. I mean, I can't believe the man would do it. I mean, could Everton afford it? Yeah, they're a Premier League club. There's a lot of money floating around in the Premier League, and if they can, cough up 70 or 75 million for him, yeah, they could probably afford it. But for him to leave Liverpool to go to Barcelona, because that's the pinnacle of his career, that was his childhood dream, and to go from Barcelona to a very good club again in Bayern Munich, who don't want him either by the looks of it, to then end up at Everton. I mean, it is a drop down with respect to Everton. I mean, I'm not on here to start talking about belittling Everton Football Club. I mean, they do that themselves on the football pitch, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That is just a joke. I mean, but that would be a huge drop down. But yeah, I genuinely did see that. Craig, how would you feel if you don't spend any money again this year, said Shay. Angry lunatic is probably the phrase that comes to mind, Shay. Angry lunatic. Because there's absolutely no reason for us not to spend money. When you post a pre-tax profit of over 100 million quid, mate, when you are... And look, this is even taking into account what's going on right now in the world. There still should be no way that we can't go out there and drop 60 million euro on a Timo Werner. I mean, I'm just not buying it. So, nor do I think it'll happen. As in the fact that we won't do business. I fully believe that we're going to do business. And I'm excited as anybody else to see what exactly that business is. Now, there was a little thing later on that... Where is it? I've done that one. Let me just scroll down on my notes a little bit, because Carragher was talking as well, and I do love when Jamie Carragher has something to say. So Jamie Carragher has said that there's 2 positions he'd like to see Liverpool go and strengthen this transfer window. Forward, and Werner seems the most likely option there. They're my words, not his. But one that he spoke about, he was talking about a backup for Robbo, because he thinks so highly, much as I do, of Neco Williams, that he believes that Neco Williams could indeed become the backup or the challenger to Trent Alexander-Arnold. So then it comes down to who comes in as a backup for Robbo. So I absolutely agree with Jamie Carragher there. And who does Craig want? You know who I want as a backup for Robbo. Come on, do I even need to say it? I don't think I even need to say it. I'm going to say it anyway. Saka. Whatever the dude's name is. Saka. Yeah, him. The guy from Arsenal. Go get him, please. Yes, please. I mean, said Saka, and immediately went, no, Craig, you do not want Mamadou Sakho back at Liverpool Football Club. You want Saka from Arsenal. That's the dude. Arsenal are trying to get him to sign a new deal. Doesn't look like he's willing to at the minute, from what I've read, but I mean, he would be a tremendous asset to go and get to bring in there as a backup and somebody to push Robbo all the way and give Robbo a little bit of a rest when needed. Right, what else have we got? Why would Madrid sign Mane if they had Hazard? Hazard hasn't exactly hit the ground running either, has he? So I like your point, Colin, and I'm with you on it, mate. John Hannafy said, is that silver goalkeeper's jersey doing the rounds real? It looks class. I haven't seen it. John. So I couldn't tell you, mate. But Joe said, I have to be honest, I just want to see Coutinho back in the Premier League. Wouldn't mind seeing him at Chelsea. Wouldn't trust Saka at left back though. Well, he's still young, and I would trust anybody under Jurgen Klopp's coaching that already shows natural talent. But hey, buddy, part of the fun about this is that we just have conversations, mate. We don't always have to agree. That's okay. What have we got? I can set a GoFundMe up. I was only joking, Bazza, mate. I mean, nobody expects Craig's to get his 56 to 64,000 euro dream car. I'm only joking with you, mate. Yeah, but I mean, it would have to be black or silver. So there's no point, in other words, like if it wasn't black or silver, with leather seats and clearly every possible option on it, mate. Other words, like what would be the point but in a dream scenario here. Hey, bro, love the stream, said Jake. Thank you, Jake. Really appreciate that, mate. Lovely to have you with us. Hello. What do we got? Well, hello there, said Firmino or Werner. See, I'm going to give you an answer that I don't mean to be disrespectful, but why would I bother talking about ors when we can be greedy and have both? So let's say, why not Firmino and Werner? Because that's entirely plausible, and that sounds sexy as fuck to me. Well, hello there. So I will counter your question with that, mate. Why not both? What have we got? Thoughts on Jay Spearing? I mean, obviously didn't pull up any trees at Liverpool, but seems like a very lovely young man who had a professional career instead of a professional career as a footballer that many of us would have dreamt of, and has played for Liverpool Football Club. So, yeah, love to him. Nothing but love. Will the league be returned? Said Carl the Broncos fan. How are you, Carl, by the way? Nice to see you in. I think it will. But I suppose, like everything else, Carl, the longer this drags on, the more nervous so many of us get. I just can't see, from a litigious perspective, how, if things were to be just stopped and voided, what would happen. I just can only see anarchy, and I can only see lawsuits coming out of everybody's ears. So, look, I'm not qualified to talk about this. The most important thing in all of this conversation is, of course, people's health and to make sure that it is safe to return to football. But we want to win this Premier League, so of course we do want it back. Right, where are we on Hot Mic, ladies and gentlemen? Can anybody give me an update number-wise on that one? Love you, Craig. I'm always here for you and anyone else on the channel, as I love the community on this channel. You and Connor are amazing. Thank you very much, Bazzy. You're a top man. Really appreciate that. Colin McAteer, talk to you really soon, buddy, and thank you for dropping in. Again, if anybody wonders why the likes of Subi, Dave Fagan, Morton, stuff like that have our badge beside their name in varying colours, it's because they are members of Anfield Agenda. If you want to become a member of the channel, ladies and gentlemen, just hit that join button. Membership starts from just 99p a month, and you get use of all the cool emojis that Conor Crosby designed as well, other than having the badge beside your name. And the longer you're with us, the more difference you'll see in the colour of that badge. So when you start off, it's a bronze badge. When you're here for 2 months, it becomes silver. 3 months, it becomes gold. And then I think after 6 months, something else, and a year, something else. But the most important thing is it's only 99p a month, and you get to have cool emojis to play around with as well, which is cool. Craig, you're the best, said Rob Shepherd. Thank you, Rob. Pixel_NME, how are you, buddy? Lovely to see you in as always. Anybody remember Alex Manninger? Yes, I do remember Alex Manninger. What have we got? 1,584 followers, Joanne said. We're only 16 away, ladies and gentlemen, on Hot Mic. So if there's 16 of you wonderful people that haven't downloaded the app yet, please do so. You can get it in the Google Play Store. You can get it in the Apple App Store. It is a free app to download. Just search Hot Mic, H-O-T, new word, M-I-C. When you download the app and open it up, it'll ask you for an invite code. Put in the one that's shown on the screen there beside me right now, Anfield, all capital letters. Then it will prompt you to give us a follow on there. That's it. It's free. It's free to use. You will see exactly what you see on YouTube. You'll have the live chat function that Joanne and Joey and the guys have. There is a likes function on there. There's a tipping function on there. And then when we get back to football, the really important sexy part is that you'll get our commentary, and you'll get our commentary with ambient crowd noise and no delay as well. So like if you come into YouTube and you do a watch along, or you join us for a watch along, sometimes your stream might be a minute or two ahead or behind of ours. So there's nothing more annoying for me when I'm watching a stream and all of a sudden I see goal, 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 but what I'm watching hasn't gotten to the goal point yet. So you're thinking, shit, There's a goal coming, but the fun is being taken away from it. With Hot Mic, that removes that because it allows you to sync up when you're watching the game or the point of the game you're at with our commentary. So it's a beautiful piece of kit, and it's free. No ads on it, free to download, free to use, and by downloading it, putting that code in and giving us a follow, you are helping us out massively financially as well, and it doesn't cost you anything to do. So if you can help us out that way, we really would appreciate it. Matthew Burton, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, my friend, newest member of the channel. Right, more to talk about. Right, where do we go? Do we talk about a young centre-back, or do we go straight to an older one? Let's talk about Diego Carlos. So Sevilla centre-back Diego Carlos has once again been linked with a move to Liverpool in the upcoming transfer window. Now, would I like Diego Carlos at Liverpool? I've started to watch a bit more of him and he seems interesting, but is he worth 50 million quid? I don't know. And I also don't know if we need to go and spend 50 million quid to bring in somebody who would be, let's say, a backup to Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez. I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty convinced Lovren will move on this summer. Even though I said in the stream the other day that I think Lovren used language that suggested like he might want to stay or thinks he could still be staying. I think Dejan Lovren will move on in the summer. And if he does move on and we're looking for a centre-back, do we need to go and drop 50 million? Or are there other places in the squad or other players like Kylian Hoover, Sepp Vandenberg, Nat Phillips, who's out on loan at Stuttgart, who could possibly come in and become the fourth choice centre-back? For me, the player I would have no problem with in Diego Carlos. It's just the rumoured 50 million that I just think it's a tough one, because I often say as football fans, we should probably just say, I don't give a shit how much it costs. If the club can afford him and he improves the team, get him. But I suppose in this current financial climate, maybe my mind has been changed a little bit of how I look at financial situations, and I don't know. Is he worth 50 million? Probably. Do we need to spend 50 million though? That I'm unsure of. There's another young centre-back who we've been looking at as well, and another report suggests that Liverpool are looking into signing Brighton and Hove Albion's 22-year-old young centre-back Ben White. Now, he spent the last 3 seasons on loans of various clubs in the Football League pyramid, and culminating with this season he's on loan at Leeds, where he has been quite impressive. So, what do we think? Do we go out and go for a youngster like Ben White, or do we go and drop 50 mil on the likes of Diego Carlos? Right, what have we got? Liam Tyler, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, buddy. Lovely to have you with us. Thank you so much for signing up to become a member. JQ said you deserve more subs. Do you know what? A couple of things, Jake. Firstly, I always say I don't know why anybody tunes in to watch our streams, but I appreciate the shit of everybody that does. But the phrase, what you've said there, a lot of people tune into our channel and say that we deserve more subs. It's weird, because from day one we thought if we got to 5,000 subs we'd be doing amazing. I mean, here we are 20 odd months, 21 months along, something like that, and we're pushing towards 40,000. But thank you for the compliment, Jake. It does mean a lot. And if you are enjoying the stream, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, please do hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Rob Shepard said, holding on tour meeting includes Connor. Hot Mic. I love that you misspelled Connor's name, Rob, because nothing winds Mr. Crosby up more than people putting 2 N's in his name, and I love it. I do it to him sometimes just to annoy him. Did you see that Ake is linked as well, said Jake Byrne? No, but I mean, I wouldn't mind. 2 Dutch centre-backs, Ake, Van Dijk, and then Gomez as well. I take it. I have to say, Jake, if the price was right, mate, I would. What have we got? Joey said, I feel mixed about this break as Klopp doesn't get much of a break all year round. Maybe since the world's on pause for a few months he'll have a break, and his contract is up for renewal. His contract, maybe I'm mad. His contract isn't up for renewal. His contract has been renewed, so he's going to be Liverpool manager for another 4 years, so we don't need to worry about Jurgen Klopp in that sense. Karius keen for a Premier League move, said Gabriel. We touched on it earlier on, mate. It seems like there may be an agreement in place for Loris Karius to go and join up with Wolves, which is mental. Right, what else we got? Back over to... It's so weird. I mean, I got myself a new screen because my old screen was so small. I was using like a 19, 20-inch monitor that couldn't fit everything that I needed to get on it. So I managed, with again, your help, So when you guys send us super chats and stuff like that, and you wonder what the fuck do we do with the money, well, here's an example of what we've done. I've had to go and I've bought a 32-inch curved monitor that allows me to have Hot Mic chat open, allows me to have YouTube chat open, and all the other bits and pieces that we need to run the channel. We also broke the ring light a couple of weeks ago, which I remember you guys helped us out with as well at the time, and that has been replaced. So these are the type of things that go wrong from time to time, but I have to say, it's a fucking sexy ass screen. It is. It's a sexy ass screen. I mean, I went for the cheapest one I could possibly get because, I mean, I don't need to be for gaming or anything like that, but it makes a massive difference to me because I'm now able to read out your comments on all platforms a lot clearer. And so again, thank you for that. Without your super chats, without your memberships, and without your tips and whatnot, that wouldn't have existed, and I'd still be sitting here squinting trying to figure out what the fuck people are saying. Big up Anfield Agenda. Love that username, mate, over on Hot Mic. Well in. What have we got? Liam said, I've subscribed to you since 10,000 subs and I'm chatting on here because it's easier to get Craig to say my comment. He's right as well, you know. That is another beautiful thing. For me, there's a couple of benefits of Hot Mic. One, the comments move a lot slower, so it's a lot easier for me to pick out a comment and read it. But secondly, there's not many trolls on Hot Mic compared to YouTube. Now, we're lucky. We have an amazing community on YouTube and a great set of mods that kick out people who are here to just cause trouble. But I don't think it's gotten into the troll world yet about Hot Mic. So yeah, Hot Mic is pretty clean and full of decent people at this moment in time. As of course is our chat on YouTube most of the time because we have the best subscribers in the game. I keep saying it. You guys, I love you to bits. You're amazing. Bit of a cool moment for me today as a dad. So I have a daughter who turns 16 in a couple of weeks, and she was saying to me that one of her friends watches YouTube a lot and seen me appear on another YouTube channel and thought that enjoyed the few bits that I did on there, so came and watched their channel. And then one day he happened, I don't know if it was on Snapchat or wherever it was, he happened to see my daughter, I don't know if it was standing in front of, oh no, he posted a picture of me, and my daughter said, that's my dad. Well, he posted a picture of my dad, and he goes, that's not your dad. This guy's a YouTuber. And she goes, oh no, that's my dad. And so it turns out the guy watches the show and enjoys it, and it's just brilliant, but he still wouldn't believe her. So she came downstairs, took a picture of the chair behind me, sent it and go, now do you believe me? And he did. And that's happened a few times. And as a dad, you know, you think your 16-year-old daughter always thinks you're cringy and always thinks, you know, oh, dad joke's not funny, ha ha ha. But when she sees her own peers and her own friends watching Anfield Agenda, do you know how fucking smug that makes me as a father, ladies and gentlemen? I'm not going to lie, it makes me pretty fucking smug. So yeah, so if that person is watching, thank you for giving me that moment today in the kitchen, because Craig did a little happy dance around his daughter as she was trying to eat her dinner. So yeah, thank you for that one. What have we got? Lucas said, I'm not chatting today, too laggy. What have we got? Sorry, Connor thought it was two N's, said Rob. I think a lot of people think it's two N's, Rob, because the surname Connor would have two N's in it, but as a first name it's just C-O-N-O-R. I mean, I misspell it all the time. I spell it C-O-N-E-R, C-O-N-N-O-R, C-O-N-N-E-R, just to wind them up, and that's when I'm not calling him Pedro. So Jake said, hey Craig, why do I support Liverpool? I've said the story a couple of times, mate, and it is a weird one. So it's no family connection. My dad wasn't a Liverpool supporter. I'm an only child, so like I've no brothers or sisters who are Liverpool supporters. So what happened was my mum and dad were at a dinner party, and I used the word dinner party very loosely. It was more a takeaway and a load of cans with their mates. And I remember being at my mum and dad's friend's house, and I was sitting on the sofa, and it was the day Liverpool were playing Arsenal, and the league title was up for grabs, and all Arsenal had to do, I say all they had to do, was come to Anfield and beat us by 2 clear goals, and beat us 2-0, and they did. But that game, for some reason, made a young Craig fall in love with Liverpool Football Club. I'd only just started playing football around that age as well, but there was just something about Anfield, something about those Liverpool players and the crowd, and I was transfixed. And that was it. That was the bug. That was me catching the Liverpool, or getting the Liverpool love, and that was it from forever. And Now, apart from my family, it is the most important thing in my life, bar nothing. Nathan said, can I say a happy birthday to my daughter? I will, of course, Nathan. Thank you, mate. And I'm glad to see you're still in the chat, buddy. That means a lot to me that you're still there chatting away. And I will say a happy birthday to my daughter, mate. Trust me, she will milk me dry for everything for her birthday. The guilt that she will put me on because she can't go out or do anything, mate, it'll be second to none. Because if there's one thing that my daughter can do, it is wind me around her little finger. Right, what else have we got? I can picture Craig dancing around his daughter, said Liam. I mean, it's a true story. It did happen. I'm not making it up. It did happen. And it was very satisfying for me and probably quite embarrassing for her. What do you think our chances are of getting Kai Havertz in the summer? So for the Kai Havertz situation, I think it will come down to a few clubs. Will he stay? Bayer Leverkusen for another season or two? Maybe. Will Bayern Munich pull the trigger? Have they cancelled their interest in Leroy Sané and have they switched it to Kai Havertz, which a lot of people believe to be the case? I don't know. Real Madrid, again, do they have the money? So, could we afford them? Yeah, I think around €100 million. But, you know, us being, Michael Edwards being who he is, could probably do a deal there. I would probably rather we go and get Houssem Aouar, whose name I know you fuckers love me pronouncing incorrectly, but I would rather him in our system, I think. I think he's a little bit more proven than Kai Havertz at this moment in time, although Kai Havertz looks like a wonderfully talented footballer. But either of those two for me would be pretty good. Anthony Hay said, hey Craig, is Willow on? My mum. I can't say I've seen Anthony. I can't say I've seen Willow, mate. My wife is in the chat there on YouTube. She said Circa, what's my daughter's name, said knows that if she asks me for something, i.e. my wife, and that she says no, that if she asks me I'll say yes, because I'm a soft touch when it comes to my daughter, because it's daddy's little girl. Do you know what I mean? First time being live since the thank you and goodbye video. Nice to see you back, Craig. Thank you, Gaming Boy, for being on. I think we've done 3 or 4 since that, you know, low moment for me as on a personal perspective, mate. But lovely to see you in the chat, and thank you so much for the kind words and the love hearts, mate. That means a lot. Can't wait for football to be back, said Joey. I'm with you. What have we got? John said no, Willow is not on, at least not at the moment anyway. Thank you for that, John. Really appreciate it. Havertz will go to Bayern, Shea Trainer reckons. The problem that I've read, Shay, again, mate, it's just me reading newspapers and, you know, passing on what I've read, is that Bayern don't seem to think he's worth the money that Leverkusen are asking of him, which seems to be around €100 million, £85 million mark. And I think that Bayern Munich don't seem, from what I've read, to think that there's value there now. That could be just a ploy to negotiate, or it could be the truth. I don't know either way, but they are the club that I've always thought most likely to go and get Kai Havertz. I mean, they do like to sign up the best of the German talent, so it wouldn't at all surprise me, Shay, if he does end up at Bayern Munich. Thomas McGee's going to go have a shower. If that's what you want to call it, then Thomas, you go have your shower, Thomas. Good man. Enjoy yourself. What else have we got? Farrell said, I know I'd be a terrible parent. The moment I saw tears of disappointment, I'd be giving in. Oh, if there's one thing as well, Dave, kids are master manipulators, mate. They know how to play their parents off against each other. They're fucking geniuses at it. Right, what have we got? What do you think will happen to the season, said LFC fan 96. Thank you for the question, mate, and again thank you for being a member. What do I think will happen? I'm still hopeful we'll get that league title on merit by playing out the remainder of the season, mate, but there's still time for decisions to be made as well, thankfully. I mean, where are we now? 20th, 22nd of April, something along those lines. I think we will know a lot more over the coming 2 or 3 weeks about how the lay of the land is, about whether it will be possible to get back. I mean, if and when football does return, it is pretty almost 100% nailed on, it will be behind closed doors. I can't see any other way other than it being behind closed doors. There's been talk of Wembley and St George's Park being used as possible facilities. I think St George's Park, which is where the English national team's training facilities are, I think that has like a 200 room hotel or some high enough amount of rooms anyway, where a team or two could perhaps go and isolate themselves. You'd need to have testing in place. As people have said before, for even a game behind closed doors to be broadcast, there needs to be somewhere in the region of 150 to 300 people at that venue, whether it be players, medical staff, ambulance crews, cameramen, interviewers, whoever the hell it might be. So all that has to be taken into account as well. I mean, then you've got to start thinking about the rights of Sky and BT and whoever else around the world. I mean, whoever else has Premier League rights, beIN Sports, whoever it might be. All of those broadcasters who have paid for these rights, what happens? Do they get refunded? Can the leagues afford to refund them all? I don't know. There's so many small little minor details that, like, you know, Joe Soapers like myself probably wouldn't have the wherewithal to think about in these situations. So as a fan, I hope and I'm hopeful that we get back and we get those 9 games that we need played and we win the Premier League. And I also want it to happen because for the integrity of the league. So earlier on, friend Terry popped in, and Terry, as an Arsenal fan, he was talking about the possibility being raised that UEFA award Champions League places on previous merits. That to me, whilst would still see us in the Champions League, seems far from ideal because what like Leicester City would miss out. Leicester City are after having an absolutely phenomenal season, have a really good young crop of players. Brendan Rodgers does a very good job there, and if they were to be denied Champions League football, that would, to me, would seem very, very harsh. Now then, we still have to talk about relegation, promotion. We have to talk about League 1, League 2. Yeah, there's just so much uncertainty, man, that anything I say is guesswork. And I could put out sensationalist lines and I could come on here and fill you full of bullshit, but that's not how this channel works, you know that. I give you my honest opinion, and I'm still hopeful that we get this season over with and we get the games played. But pushing aside the Liverpool-centric part of it, there are so many other reasons why the integrity of this league being finished is important. What have we got? Oksana said, in your opinion, what is the fairest way to end the season if playing behind closed doors isn't possible? Void it, calculations based on form, end the league and current standings. The problem there is, I'm obviously going to look at it through Liverpool-centric eyes. So, if calculations based on form meant we won the league, yeah, we'd win the league, but we'd always have won the league with an exclamation mark beside it or an asterisk beside it, and we'd always have banter at us from opposition fans, even though we're clearly going to win the fucking league because we're so damn good and so far ahead that it was clearly going to happen. Voiding it has to be the very, 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 very last option. I mean, very last option. The awarding points based on merit or a Duckworth-Lewis type system, I mean, I don't know how you implement that, and I don't know how that would impact the league, so I can't really talk on that. I just hope they get to a point where they can finish the season, even if, I mean, let's go back a couple of weeks here, and we heard a statement come out from the Premier League, the FA and all the stakeholders involved in this, where they said that they were committed to finishing the league. They said there was phrases like indefinite and that used, that nothing other than that league being finished was even being contemplated a few weeks ago. So if this does push on and if next season is delayed, at least next season could be started from a point of view where everybody knows what the rules are going to be. If it's a shortened season or, I don't know, whatever way they want to do it, at least everybody is starting off from the same position. You have to finish this season. Other words, those clubs who are down at the bottom of the table right now, who are goal difference or 1 point away from being saved and having all that Premier League money, or the clubs like Leeds and the clubs like, let's say, Preston North End, the clubs like Fulham, who've spent a lot of money making sure they can keep Alexander Mitrovic there to try and get promotion back up to the Premier League. What happens with them? It's just so difficult that I can understand how you're getting so many different viewpoints from so many different people. Some people have vested interest in it finishing like us Liverpool fans. If I sat here and said that there's no part of me that wants this league to finish so we can win the league, I'd be a damn liar. But I would also be a liar if I sat here and said that there aren't other reasons that this league should finish that has nothing to do with Liverpool Football Club. And that is the integrity of the damn competition and the other clubs that are fighting for their lives at the bottom, and the clubs that are fighting to come up, and the clubs from League One that are looking to go up to the Championship, vice versa. It's so difficult that I can't see any way that no matter how long it takes, we get to a point where football is played and the league is finished. I just can't see it. And I hope to Christ that I'm wrong. I hope to Christ that I'm wrong and we see it sooner. But I don't think that... I don't see any way it's not finished. I just don't. I just can't. Thoughts on the Souness Pogba situation? In what sense? I mean, with all due respect, I couldn't give a fuck about Paul Pogba. And does Souness have something in for me? He does seem to a little bit, to be fair, mate. But other than that, I don't really have many thoughts on them. Right, what have we got? Before we finish up, let's do about 5 or 6 more minutes. Can we get a hot mic check? Did we get there? Did we manage to get to the 1,600? Did you guys download that app and put in the code? Anfield, all caps. Spider said, ease away, all teams bar City and one other team have played over 75% of all the games, which means positions have to be awarded. If teams have played over 28.4 games, then titles will be awarded. I don't know, Spider. If we'd won it last year and we were going to be awarded it that way this year, it wouldn't feel as bad, mate. And I mean, we know we deserve it. Deep down, every other club's fans know we deserve it, and most of them, in fairness, that I've spoken to have been very honest about it and said that if it was to be ended or whatever, that Liverpool should be handed the title. But you know that it would be used against us by opposition fans who just love to talk about Liverpool Football Club. So my ideal situation is, of course, to finish it out and get that league title. Sabrina said, did you see that Danish club Midtjylland had proposed that if matches, Sabrina being my wife by the way, if matches are to go behind closed doors, they will show it on screens outside the stadium and the car park will be used like a drive-in movie? Yeah, no, you see, I don't like that one bit. And there's varying reasons of why I don't like that. There's always going to be gobshites that don't adhere to social distancing rules and would get out of their cars. And there's going to be a load of fuckers who, let's say Midtjylland get a penalty and the striker's just about to step up to take the penalty and 10,000 car horns suddenly get sounded at the moment he's about to strike that ball, and that ball ends up in row Z of the stand. I mean, in theory it sounds good, but we'd seen what happened when Paris Saint-Germain's Champions League game was played behind closed doors, how many people showed up outside that stadium, and I can't say how much that contributed to illnesses, but I mean, I don't know. For me, that wouldn't be the solution for me. I mean, I can't exactly see that being possible at Anfield anyway, unless you rock a load of cars into Stanley Park, but yeah. Joanne said 1,587 followers on Hot Mic. So just 13 of you guys need it. If you could do me that favour, download the Hot Mic app, Google Play Store, Apple App Store. Put in the code Anfield, all capital letters when you download it. Right, what do we want to finish on tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Any questions or anything you guys want to talk about, please do let me know. Okay, Nathan. It's getting to a point, mate, where there's not much else I can say to you other than please get help. But I'm not going to fall for the 50,000 goodbyes, mate, as a call for attention. I'm going to be blunt here because I think sometimes bluntness is the way forward. If you are suffering with mental health issues, mate, I plead and implore you to go and seek the help that you may need, and ask you to ring the numbers that were given out earlier on by John Hamilton and contact a mental health professional. If you're doing this for attention, mate, then from the bottom of my heart, fuck you. Because if you're doing this for attention, it belittles everything that every other person has gone through that suffers with mental health. Now, I don't think that you are. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt. But please do contact me, a professional in these situations, because I'm not qualified to give you advice or tell you what to do other than to call a professional. But I hope from the bottom of my heart, mate, that you make it, that you're good, and that this is just you looking for some attention, because I hate the thought of you suffering, and I hope you get the help that you need, but I also hope that you're not, belittling other people who have real mental health issues and are suffering as well, just for attention, because unfortunately stuff like that does happen on here as well from time to time, and it's very hard to tell who's sincere and who isn't. But I try to take people at face value, and I hope that you're okay. Craig, when will you do a Q&A again? Anytime, Casper. Anything. You can always ask me anything whenever you want. Liverpool have 29 games played, 3 choices: finish it World Cup style, award the titles and European spots with top 2 from the lower leagues promoted, and only relegations if points tally is impossible to get. Don't think that would really work, Spider, because let's put it this way. If you're Preston, if you're Fulham, if you're anybody else that's in the playoffs to go up through any division, there's going to be lawsuits galore. Adding more games to next season and having 22 teams in the Premier League, if you're talking about promoting West Bromwich Albion and Leeds, will only add to the fixture congestion and be a bit more of a headache. That was one of the original ideas that I'd seen floated about, but I don't think there's any way that will be able to happen. Unfortunately, even if you're talking about relegating 5 teams the season after instead of the 3. But look, mate, as I've always said, I'm not qualified to talk about this. I'm just a fan. Talk MU said, nice to see you back, pal. I appreciate that, mate. Really do. I've got so many kind messages from fans of all different clubs that I really appreciate the support. So thank you, mate. Robbery if we don't get the title, said Liam. Do you think the Bundesliga might be back in a week and a half? Or did I hear? Sorry, the Bundesliga might be back in a week and a half. No, I did hear that a couple of teams had been back training. I also heard that, I think it was Holland. Do the Dutch have a Prime Minister? Or, I'm not sure, but a senior official in the Dutch government has basically said that there'll be no sporting events going on there until September, October, maybe, something like that. Brian, as you said, you would have to be a very special kind of individual to laugh at a club being awarded a title, but as you and I both know, Brian, the anonymity of the internet and keyboard warriors would jump at the opportunity to be the exact type of dickhead that you and I both despise, mate. So yeah, there would be, unfortunately, I think. Simple, finish league whenever. Next season can be compromised thing. Top man Craig said mega sting. Right, Joey said, hey Craig, seen the tweet with help with socials. Is there any requirements? Not really. And again, what Joey is talking about is Connor and I I told him after the fact, are looking for somebody to help us run our Twitter and Instagram accounts. Do there need to be any requirements? Just that you need to be pretty shit hot on Twitter and Instagram, mate. And know and get the personality of our channel, if you get where I'm coming from. But no, you don't have to be a professional. I mean, if anything, I would kind of lean away from a lot of professional social media companies because, one, they're probably way out of our scope of what we could afford with being a small channel like ours. So no, mate, there's no requirements, just being good on those platforms. I suppose that's about it. Gabriel, you don't need to apologise again, mate. It's absolutely fine. Sometimes stuff can get lost in translation, mate, or I say translation, in the written word, which has got me into a lot of trouble, buddy, over the years, misinterpreting what people have said. So please, sir, don't feel the need to apologise. And if I came across harsh to you, then, I'll throw an apology straight back to you, buddy. Alara, how are you? Feeling good and happy? I want a shout out. Shout out for you, Alara. Always happy to see you on the stream, my friend. Look, ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying to you the other day, we will be back streaming on Friday. Same time, 9:15. And then I'm going to take the weekend off. Then we should be back streaming on Monday as well. Again, we'll be doing it on both platforms, so keep an eye out on Hot Mic. Don't forget to share before you head off on Hot Mic, ladies and gentlemen, as well. And if you guys on YouTube can please download the Hot Mic app and put in that sign-up code Anfield, that would help us out massively. It needs to be all capital letters, by the way. I should point that out. And again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up before you head off on YouTube as well. Look, thank you for everything. I really do appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to come on and have a chat with us. And I'll finish off as I have been always lately. And first and foremost, I hope all of your family and loved ones are healthy and safe, and I hope that continues to be the case. On behalf of my family and Connor and everybody associated with the channel, I wish you all love and good health. And I will talk to you wonderful people on Friday. Until then, I'll end as I always do, my good friends, by saying up the motherfucking Reds and love to you all. Take care of yourselves.